welcome or welcome back to the channel. So today I am building a autumn themed or autumn inspired cabin in Henford-on-Bagley. This is on the Cordelia Secret Cottage lot. I did build here once before. I think I built a starter home and I really love this lot. It's a little bit annoying when it comes to the camera because of the mountain behind the lot. It does kind of jump around all over the place a little bit, but the actual lot itself I really like. It's got a nice little waterfall and you can see pretty much the entire world from up on this hill, which I think is lovely. So I'm pretty much already done with the shell. It looks like I built it very quickly, and that's because I have already built it twice. My computer decided that I needed to build it for a third time today, so I'd already made most of the building decisions, but when we go to the inside, that is kind of where it stopped before, so I don't really know what I'm doing on the inside. But yeah, this was inspired by a picture that I found on Pinterest of a kitchen, which I thought was really quaint. I think it's meant to be more of a country cottage kitchen, but I really liked the layout of it more than anything, so I wanted to kind of recreate that in this one. But I also wanted to do an autumn style cabin since it's almost October and I'm really excited to get into some spooky kind of builds, which I don't know how many of those I'm going to do throughout October, but I do definitely want to do a couple. But since it is, still September, it is autumn for most people, or a lot of people, not most people, a lot of people, but it is actually just coming into the spring for me in the southern hemisphere, which I'm quite looking forward to. Actually, more so I'm looking forward to the summer because I really love the summers here. They can get a little bit hot sometimes. I think last year wasn't too bad. The year before it was pretty warm. I think it averaged out at about 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, which is quite warm. But I do really enjoy the heat and the sun, so I'm not complaining one bit. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really nice, even if we don't really get to go anywhere. Just sitting on the balcony is just going to be enjoyable for me. So anyway, I decided to do the interior for this build first because I didn't really know what I wanted to do on the outside. Like I said, it was inspired by that picture of the kitchen, so I wanted to get the kitchen done, and then I'd kind of focus on what the outside looked like more than anything. So I haven't really cut anything out of this footage. Actually, it only took me 2.5 hours to build it, which is quite quick for me. Usually I spend a good 2 days kind of trying to figure things out, and it involves lots of editing and cutting bits out where I'm just sat here staring at it trying to figure out what I wanted to do, which is what I pretty much did all day yesterday. I just sat and tried to figure out what I wanted to build, and nothing was coming to me, and I just had a real creative block, and I just needed to not be on The Sims yesterday because I just was getting frustrated with myself, and I just was having not a good day. So I thought I would just leave it and then come back today and try and see what I can do. And I was more worried that I was oh no, I'm not going to have anything to put out, and then I'm only going to have one video this week, and I know that's not something that I should worry about at all, but for some reason that was my brain was just on that and was just stuck on that. But I was quite, I don't know, surprised, maybe pleased that I was able to just come on today and just build it and not really even think about it, to be honest. So yeah. The bedroom in this build I did really struggle with. I had no idea what I wanted it to look like. I have set the lot type as a tiny home because I wanted all of the perks that come with tiny homes, and I just think they're really nice. They maybe are a little bit cheaty in some ways with like the skill gains and the happiness boosts and everything, but I think, you know, especially when you are playing quite casually, I don't think it really matters. If you're playing a challenge, obviously, then that's maybe not, I don't know, helpful because it's not really much of a challenge, but just for casual gameplay, I think it's a really nice idea. And to me, or for me, should I say, tiny homes I think are easier to play with if you have multiple Sims in the household, because they don't really have very far that they can wander off to. You can keep an eye on all of them quite easily. But this one is probably only for like one or two Sims, and I have put a couple of like small dog items in. I suppose you could also use it for a cat, but you just need to add in a litter tray. But anyway, the idea that I had in mind for this build once I'd kind of gotten to this point was maybe as like a rental lot, which I think it would be really nice as like an autumn kind of holiday home. Or even if, I don't know, your Sims decided that they wanted an autumnal themed wedding, then maybe they could use this as like a honeymoon cottage or just the family home. Family like holiday home is what I meant. Which I think would be really nice just for, I don't know, a couple to come and have like a week away up here by the waterfall just by themselves. I think that'd be really nice. I really wanted to use those hanging plants from Jungle Adventure, but when you size them right down, they've got this huge shadow, which is just not fun. I wanted to put them on the fireplace and kind of create my own, like, I don't know, plant thing, but it just wasn't working. So I just decided to go with a nice little base game plant instead. These ones, I really think they could probably do with an update on the swatches. A lot of the plants that we have in the base game have got like this blue, and then there's an orange and I think a green swatch for the like the vase or the pot that they're in. Which, don't get me wrong, they're nice colours, but I really would like a white one. just to make it a little bit less bright and colourful if that's not the look that I'm going for. Luckily it matched perfectly with this room, but you know, and a white one would be nice. So I've gotten all of the like large furniture pieces down now, so I go back in with all of the little detail bits. The only bits that I did cut out of the footage were me scrolling through the menus trying to find things. I kind of didn't really know what I wanted to include, just that I wanted it to be quite full and not necessarily cluttered, but I didn't want there to be loads of empty space. This window that I'm trying to put the bunny on, I end up deleting and changing the window. I wanted to include a water wheel, so once I end up going out into the landscaping, I didn't really know what to do. I was just going to put some plants in and maybe like a gardening area, but literally all of my builds for the last couple of months have had like gardening in or farming in, and I just wanted to not include any of those for once. I didn't really have like a skill building like activity in mind for this, because I kind of thought it's probably more of like a rental lot anyway, so I didn't put any in. There is knitting, actually I did include knitting, but I thought it kind of fit the vibe of the house more. But yeah, I didn't want to include gardening again because I think I've overdone that a little bit lately. But yeah, I still wanted to include quite a lot of landscaping, so I thought I would just go with some nice kind of overgrown bushes and things. I spent ages trying to get this candle on this window and then end up deleting the window. But you know, that's just the way it goes, I guess. I really wanted to use these curtains from the Dream Home Decorator Pack 2. I also thought about using the ones that we got with Seasons, but I didn't really like the leaf swatch that came with those curtains. I much prefer this one. And then I tried to tie the bed swatch in, even though they're from different packs. Obviously they're not going to match exactly, but I thought the yellow on the bed sheets kind of matched the background color of the curtains a little bit. It's a little bit more yellow and the curtains are probably more cream, but I thought it looked really nice anyway. I included the bird feathers on the walls. I know they're a collectible item and some people don't like it when builds have collectible items in because they prefer to, you know, collect them themselves, which is fine. You can delete them. But I wanted to put something on the wall, and I didn't really think any of the pictures that we had that are small, or the ones that were sides down like appropriately, I didn't think they really suited, so I thought the bird feathers were probably nice. This big wall in the kitchen, I didn't really know what to put up here. I was just going to put a picture, but it didn't really, I couldn't find one that I liked, so I ended up going with this combination of items from the Nifty Knitting Pack, Cottage Living, and I think that's from the Paranormal Pack. That is it like a crochet or a, I don't know, the wall hang thing. I liked the colours that they all had and I thought they looked really nice together, so I wanted to include all of those. On this deck out here, I put a couple of these plants from Jungle Adventure. I used the individual ones. I wanted to include the one where they're all together, but then the bench didn't fit and I wanted the bench to fit. And over here I just put this nice little basket of different fall things. I think they've got like pine cones and some flowers and things, which I think are really nice. And then right at the end I put a bin, like an outdoor bin on there. I forgot that I hadn't included it, and then I didn't really know where to put it. But we are starting on the outside now, the landscaping. Like I said, I didn't really know what I was doing, completely winged this entire thing and just spend ages trying to figure out what the hell I want to do. But I end up adding some of the trees from the Cats and Dogs pack. I really like the different swatches that they come in. Even though they're debug, they have quite a lot of nice swatches. I think they're debug actually. I'm not sure. I think they are, but they have some really nice swatches where like the leaves are red, and then there's one tree that I've used 3 or 4 times and just changed the size of it, and it comes in like 4 different swatches. One of them is all green, one of them is like this really nice red color, and then the other 2 are like a combination, which I think is really lovely. So yeah, here I just changed that window and added in a seasons window in just a plain white color. This wall again I struggled with, but I ended up going with a seasons painting. It doesn't really match the style, but I thought the colors matched really nicely. So this willow tree is from Cottage Living. I end up deleting that little holly tree, I think, and then this is where I decided to go with the Cats and Dogs ones because I thought they had really nice colors. This is the one that I was talking about. It has some really nice different swatches on it that's got some red leaves and some green leaves. In the tour at the end and in the thumbnail it is set to autumn. However, when I'm building this I have it set to the summer because I wanted to see what all of the leaves looks like on the trees before, you know, the autumn season like completely killed them off. But I really like the fact that even though it's the summer they still have this like nice red swatch, so that's why I decided to go with those. And then the rest of the like landscaping that I do is, to me, has like a very wild kind of random look to it. I didn't want it to look too put together. I wanted it to look kind of like it had overgrown a little bit in some places. I thought if this is, you know, like a rental cabin or a holiday home, then the people who own it or the Sims that own it don't necessarily come here that often, maybe like once or twice a year, if that. So I thought it's probably just been left to how nature intended it to be, and it just has like a really wild look to it, which I really like. I like that look. It just looks, I don't know, maybe I just like it to look a little bit more natural than like completely landscaped by gardener, you know. I prefer it. I did think that I should include these yellow flowers instead of the pink ones. I thought it kind of had more of a like yellowy, orange and red kind of color theme since it's autumn inspired, and the pink ones to me just didn't really look right. I think if they were red I probably would have used them, but I actually really like the yellow ones. I end up changing these bushes here to the rose bushes because I thought that they were a little bit more vibrant. The flowers were a little bit more vibrant, they had a bit more color to them, and I just much preferred them. I use these grass pieces. These ones are from the base game, and then I go in with the cottage living ones a little bit later. I wanted to add these ivy pieces from the base game onto the roof. These ones rotate with tool, which I don't think any of the other packs do. I think this is the only one, but I thought they looked really nice. I've done this a couple times before and I just like the look of it. I just think it looks, I don't know, I just really like it. So I'm adding quite a lot of terrain paint now. I haven't really done this in the way that I normally do it. I just put it down really rough and randomly because I just wasn't really feeling it. I didn't really know what to do, and so I just thought I'll just put some dirt around and leave it leave it at that, because I was literally almost finished and I was like, nope, this will do, this is fine. I add a couple of the, I think it's like algae from the Get Together pack. There is one that comes with Jungle Adventure too, but I much prefer the swatch from the Get Together pack. I think that one looks a lot more natural. I don't know, the other one is kind of a little bit more like artificial green to me. I don't know whether it's just my eyes, I'm not sure. But obviously I wanted to include these like toadstools, mushrooms. I think they look really nice, and all of these grass debug items from the cottage living pack. I also add one over the water because I thought it looked like the pond was a little bit more overgrown. I end up adding the water swatch that I always use. I think it's meant to be like a bit gross, but I really like it and think it looks like the most natural one. I do like the ones with the leaves in and the ones with the algae in, but they, to me, they look like a little bit over decorated with like the leaves and the sticks and everything, whereas this one, it's only like a couple here and there, and I think they just look a lot more natural, especially underneath these big trees. And if you're up on like a big hill like this, there's probably going to be quite a lot of breeze, so those leaves that are in the water aren't necessarily going to stay there very long. They're going to be blown out. So I think this one looks a lot more natural. And then I wanted to just kind of fill in the gaps with all of these plants from cottage living too. So that is pretty much the end of today's speed build. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to download this build, it is on the gallery under my ID AriaFaeYT, or the tray files can be found on Tumblr as per usual. So yeah, I really hope you have enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and I will see you all next time. Bye everyone.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Take a step back